My future MIL stole our wedding money, called me a drug addict, so I followed her to the casino and exposed everything. I'm 28 years old, living in Phoenix, Arizona, and working as a graphic designer for a marketing firm. My fiancé, Jake, is 30 and works as a software engineer. We'd been together for 4 years when this nightmare began, and we were planning our dream wedding for June 2022. This story starts in January 2021, when Jake's mother, Patricia, offered to help us save for the wedding. She was 58, recently retired from banking, and seemed like the perfect person to help us manage our wedding fund. Looking back now, I see how naive we were. Patricia had always been complicated with me. From the moment Jake introduced us 3 years earlier, I felt something off. She was overly sweet to my face, but there were little comments. "Oh, that dress is so brave on you." Jake's ex-girlfriend was studying to be a doctor, but graphic design is nice too. "I hope you know how to cook." Jake is used to homemade meals. Jake never noticed. He was an only child, and Patricia was his whole world after his father died when Jake was 15. "Mom's just protective," he'd say. "She'll warm up to you." But she never did. Still, when she offered to help with the wedding fund, I was cautiously optimistic. Maybe this was her way of accepting me. "You kids are so busy with work," she said over dinner at her house. "Let me help manage the wedding savings. I worked in banking for 30 years, I know how to maximize interest, find the best accounts. You focus on your careers, I'll handle the money side." Jake's eyes lit up. "Mom, that would be amazing. We're drowning in wedding planning already." I hesitated. Something in my gut said no. But I looked at Jake's hopeful face, at Patricia's warm smile, and I pushed the feeling down. "That's really generous, Patricia." "Thank you." We set up a joint savings account, me, Jake, and Patricia as signatories. The plan was simple: Jake and I would deposit money monthly, Patricia would manage it, and we'd all have access to track everything. We started strong. Jake deposited $2,000 a month from his paycheck. I contributed $1,500. Patricia said she'd add $500 monthly as her mother of the groom contribution. Our goal was $60,000 for our dream wedding, venue, catering, photographer, the works. The first 3 months went perfectly. I'd check the account online every week, watching our balance grow. By April 2021, we had $11,500 saved. I was thrilled. Then things got weird. In May, I logged into the account and saw a withdrawal of $1,000. The note said, "Venue deposit." But we hadn't chosen a venue yet. I called Jake. "Did your mom withdraw money for a venue?" "Oh, yeah," he said casually. "She found this amazing place and wanted to secure it before we lost the date. She's going to show us this weekend." Red flag number 1. Why wouldn't she ask us first? That weekend, Patricia showed us the venue. It was beautiful, a historic mansion with gardens. The owner confirmed they'd received a $1,000 deposit. Okay, I thought. Maybe I'm overreacting. But I started watching the account more carefully. June, another $500 withdrawal. Photographer consultation fee. July, $800 withdrawal. Catering tasting deposit. August, $1,200 withdrawal. Florist advance. Each time, Patricia had explanations. Each time, Jake believed her. "Mom's being proactive," he said. "She's locking in the best vendors." But something felt wrong. These amounts seemed high for deposits. And Patricia kept saying she'd show us receipts later. She was organizing everything in a binder. By September 2021, I noticed the account balance seemed low. We should have had around $28,000 saved. But the balance showed only $19,000. I sat down with a calculator and went through every transaction. Jake and I had deposited $31,500 total. Patricia had deposited $4,500. That's $36,000. Even with the withdrawals Patricia made for vendors, which totaled about $4,500, we should have had over $31,000. Where was the missing $12,000? I showed Jake the numbers. He frowned. Maybe there are bank fees? Or maybe Mom moved some into a higher interest account? Jake, $12,000 in fees? That's insane. Just ask her. I'm sure there's an explanation. I called Patricia that evening. "Hi Patricia, I was reviewing the wedding account and noticed the balance seems lower than expected. Can we go over the transactions together?" There was a pause. "Of course, sweetie. Though I'm surprised you're questioning this. I've been working so hard to help you too." "I'm not questioning, just trying to understand. I'll send you a full breakdown this week. I've been so busy organizing everything." You know, when Jake's father and I got married, we trusted each other completely. No one was checking receipts and interrogating family. My stomach dropped. She was turning this around on me. Patricia, I'm not interrogating anyone. I just want to make sure we're on track. We're perfectly on track. Unless you don't trust me? After everything I've done for you too? I felt cornered. Of course I trust you. I'll wait for the breakdown. The breakdown never came. Patricia kept saying she'd send it as soon, she was still organizing, or her computer was acting up, or she'd send it next week. Meanwhile, more money disappeared. October, $2,000 withdrawal. Banned deposit. November, $1,500 withdrawal. Cake and dessert bar. December, $3,000 withdrawal. Dress alterations and suit rentals. By January 2022, our account balance was $8,000. We should have had over $50,000 saved. Instead, we had barely anything. I was panicking. Our wedding was in 5 months. Jake kept saying his mom would explain everything. But I couldn't wait anymore. I went to the bank in person. I explained the situation to a manager and asked for a complete transaction history, every deposit, every withdrawal, every detail. What I discovered made my blood run cold. Patricia wasn't just making vendor payments. She was withdrawing cash. Hundreds of dollars at a time, multiple times a week. $300 here, $500 there, $800 on Tuesdays, $1,000 on Fridays. I added it up. Over 12 months, Patricia had withdrawn $47,000 in cash. $47,000. Our wedding fund was gone. And Patricia had taken it. I sat in my car outside the bank, staring at the transaction history, hands shaking. $47,000. Gone. Stolen by my future mother-in-law. I called Jake immediately. We need to talk. Now. Can you come home? I'm in a meeting. Can it wait? No. It can't. Please, Jake. Something in my voice must have scared him because he said, okay. I'll be there in 20 minutes. When he walked through our apartment door, I had all the bank statements spread across our dining table. Printouts with highlighted withdrawals. A calculator showing the math. Everything. Your mother stole our wedding fund, I said without preamble. Jake laughed nervously. What? That's crazy. Look at these statements. $47,000 in cash withdrawals over 12 months. All made by Patricia. He walked to the table, picked up the papers. I watched his face change as he read, confusion, denial, then slowly, horrified realization. There has to be an explanation, he said weakly. Maybe she withdrew cash to pay vendors who don't take cards? Jake. $47,000? In cash? Look at the pattern, multiple withdrawals per week. Sometimes twice a day. Does that look like vendor payments to you? He sank into a chair. What are you saying? I'm saying your mother stole our money. And I don't know why. We need to talk to her. Right now. We drove to Patricia's house in silence. My mind was racing. Why would she do this? She wasn't poor, she had her retirement pension, her house was paid off, she always dressed well and took expensive vacations. Patricia answered the door in a designer pantsuit, makeup perfect. Jake. Sweetheart. What a surprise. And, you too, she added, looking at me with less enthusiasm. Mom, we need to talk about the wedding account, Jake said, his voice tight. Her smile faltered for just a second. Of course. Come in. Let me make coffee. We don't need coffee, I said. We need answers. We sat in her pristine living room. I spread the bank statements on her glass coffee table. Where's our money, Patricia? She picked up the papers, barely glancing at them. I don't understand what you're asking. $47,000. Cash withdrawals. All made by you. Where is it? Patricia's face transformed. The warm, motherly expression vanished, replaced by something cold and hard. How dare you come into my home and accuse me of theft? Mom, Jake started. No, Jake. Let her speak. Let's hear what your fiancé is really accusing me of. I'm not accusing, I said, trying to stay calm. I'm asking. These are facts. These withdrawals happened. We just want to know where the money went. Patricia stood up, her voice rising. I have been planning your wedding for a year. Do you have any idea how much work that is? The stress? And now you're questioning me? Maybe if you weren't so obsessed with money, you'd appreciate what I've done. Mom, please, Jake said. We just need to understand. I'll tell you what you need to understand, Patricia interrupted, pointing at me. SHE is the problem. Not me. I've been managing money responsibly for 30 years. But her. Who knows what she's been spending money on? What? I said, genuinely confused. Don't play innocent with me. I've seen the signs. The mood swings. The paranoia. Always checking the account, always suspicious. Jake, I didn't want to say anything, but I think she has a drug problem. The room went silent. I felt like I'd been slapped. What? I finally managed. A drug problem, Patricia repeated, her voice now dripping with fake concern. It explains everything. The missing money, she's probably been withdrawing cash for drugs. The paranoia, textbook addict behavior. The way she's turning you against your own mother. That's insane. I stood up. I've never done drugs in my life. You're the one who withdrew all the money. Can you prove you didn't? Patricia crossed her arms. Can you show me receipts for where you spent every dollar? I don't need to prove anything. The bank statements show you making withdrawals. Mom, Jake's voice was quiet but firm. Are you seriously accusing her of being a drug addict? Patricia's eyes filled with tears. Jake, sweetheart. I know this is hard to hear. But I'm your mother. I've known something was wrong for months. I was hoping she'd get help on her own, but now she's trying to cover her tracks by blaming me. This is unbelievable, I whispered. You know what? Patricia walked to her front door and opened it. I think you two should leave. Jake, you're welcome back anytime. Alone. But I won't have a drug addict in my home accusing me of crimes. I'm not a drug addict. That's what they all say, honey. Jake looked between us, torn. Mom, this is really serious. We need to figure this out. There's nothing to figure out, Patricia said firmly. I've managed that money responsibly. If money is missing, look to her, not me. Now please go. I'm very upset. We left. In the car, Jake was silent. You don't believe her, right? I asked. Jake. Tell me you don't believe her. I don't. I don't know what to believe. She's my mother. She wouldn't just steal from us. But those bank statements. There is no but. She stole our money and now she's lying about it. And accusing me of being a drug addict. I know it sounds crazy. It is crazy. Jake, whose side are you on? I'm not on a side. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. We didn't speak the rest of the drive home. That night, Patricia started her campaign. She called Jake's aunt, his cousins, family friends. Her story was consistent. She was heartbroken that her future daughter-in-law was struggling with addiction. She tried to help, but now she was being blamed for money that the addict probably spent on drugs. My phone started buzzing. Jake's family members, some concerned, some accusatory. Is it true you're struggling with substance abuse? Why are you accusing Patricia? She's been nothing but good to you. Jake's aunt says you need help. Have you considered rehab? I was horrified. Within 24 hours, Patricia had poisoned Jake's entire family against me. People I'd known for 3 years, who'd welcomed me at holidays, who'd hugged me at family gatherings, they all believed I was a drug addict. Jake was getting calls too. His uncle, your mother is worried sick. Get that girl some help. His cousin, dude, are you sure you want to marry someone with addiction issues? His grandmother, Patricia told me everything. That poor woman, trying to plan a wedding while dealing with this. This is insane, I told Jake. Your mother stole our money and somehow I'm the villain? I know it's messed up, he said, rubbing his face. But we need to stay calm. We'll figure this out. How? Your whole family thinks I'm on drugs. Let me talk to her again. Alone. Maybe she'll be more honest without you there. That hurt, but I agreed. Jake went to his mother's house the next day. He was gone for 3 hours. When he came back, his face was troubled. She showed me receipts. What? Receipts for wedding vendors. She said she's been paying everything in cash because some vendors give discounts for cash payments. She had receipts totaling about $30,000. My heart sank. Let me see them. He handed me a folder. I went through each receipt carefully. Something was wrong. The dates didn't match the withdrawal dates. Some receipts were for vendors we'd never heard of. One was for a photographer in Scottsdale, but we'd booked a photographer in Tempe. Jake, these don't make sense. Look, this receipt is dated June 15th, but your mom withdrew $2,000 on June 8th. And this photographer isn't our photographer. She said some vendors needed deposits before they'd give quotes. That's not how it works. And what about the other $17,000? Where are those receipts? She said she's still organizing them. Of course she is, I said bitterly. Jake, these receipts are fake or for services we never ordered. Can't you see that? I don't know, he said, and I heard doubt in his voice. Not doubt about his mother, doubt about me. Maybe you're right, or maybe you're so focused on finding her guilty that you can't see the truth. The truth? The truth is in the bank statements. Bank statements show withdrawals. They don't show what happened to the money after. I stared at him. You're starting to believe her. You actually think I might be on drugs. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. I grabbed my keys. I'm going to my sister's. I need to think. I drove to my older sister Melissa's apartment. She lived 40 minutes away in Tempe. When I arrived, tears streaming down my face, she took one look at me and pulled me inside. I told her everything. Every detail. She listened, getting angrier by the minute. That manipulative bitch, Melissa said when I finished. She's gaslighting the entire family. Jake's starting to believe her, Mel. He's doubting me. Because she's his mother. She's had 30 years to perfect her manipulation tactics on him. Melissa paced her living room. We need evidence. Real evidence. Something undeniable. How? The bank statements show she withdrew the money, but she claims it went to vendors. Jake believes her receipts even though they're obviously fake. Melissa stopped pacing. What if we catch her in the act? What do you mean? She's withdrawing hundreds of dollars multiple times a week, right? That's not normal behavior even if she is paying vendors. That's addiction behavior. I thought about the pattern. Tuesday withdrawals. Friday withdrawals. Sometimes Monday and Thursday too. Always cash. Always between $300 to $1,000. You think she's gambling? Makes sense, doesn't it? The compulsive behavior, the need for cash, the lies. My friend dated a gambling addict, same pattern. Regular withdrawals on specific days. But where would she be gambling? Arizona has casinos, but they're not that close to her house. Melissa pulled out her laptop. Let me check something. She typed quickly. Okay, there are 3 casinos within an hour of Phoenix. Desert Diamond, Talking Stick, and Wild Horse Pass. If she's going regularly, someone would know her. How do we prove it? We follow her. Watch her patterns. Document everything. And we check if the wedding account withdrawals match casino visit days. It sounded crazy. Following my future mother-in-law around like a private investigator. But I was desperate. Okay, I said. Let's do it. We made a plan. I went back through all the bank statements and highlighted every withdrawal day. Then we cross-referenced with my calendar, family dinners, events, times I knew Patricia's location. A pattern emerged. She never made withdrawals on days when she had family commitments. But every Tuesday and Friday without fail, unless it was a holiday, there was a withdrawal. Often Mondays and Thursdays too. Tuesday and Friday, Melissa said. Those are peak casino days. Monday and Thursday are promotions days at most casinos, special bonuses to draw crowds during slow periods. Oh my God, I whispered. She's been gambling our wedding money. We still need proof. Jake won't believe speculation. Over the next week, we watched Patricia. Melissa took time off work, claiming a family emergency. We parked down the street from Patricia's house and waited. Tuesday morning, 9:47 a.m. Patricia emerged from her house in jeans and a hoodie, unusual for her, she always dressed up. She got in her car and drove. We followed at a safe distance. She drove for 40 minutes, then pulled into Desert Diamond Casino parking lot. Got her, Melissa whispered. We waited 3 hours. When Patricia emerged, she looked disheveled. Her hair was messy, her face was red. She sat in her car for 10 minutes before driving away. We followed her to a bank, the same branch where our wedding account was. We watched through the window as she used the ATM. Later, I checked the account. $800 withdrawal. Same day. Same time. Friday, we followed her again. Same routine. Casino. Hours inside. ATM withdrawal on the way home. This time $500. We did this for 2 weeks, documenting everything. Photos of her entering casinos. Timestamps. Matching bank withdrawals. We even spoke to a casino employee Melissa knew from college who worked at Desert Diamond. Oh, yeah, I know Patricia, the employee said. She's here all the time. Usually at the slot machines. High stakes ones. She's down bad, I've seen her lose thousands in a single session. Sometimes she wins, but she always puts it back in. How long has she been coming here? At least 2 years that I've seen her. Maybe longer. 2 years. She'd been gambling away money for 2 years. And when she got access to our wedding fund, she couldn't help herself. Armed with evidence, I went back to Jake. I laid everything out on our dining table, photos of Patricia entering casinos, timestamped bank withdrawals matching those exact days, the casino employee's statement, everything. Your mother has a gambling addiction, I said. She's been gambling our wedding money at Desert Diamond Casino. We have proof. Jake looked at the photos, the timeline, the bank statements. His face was pale. This can't be real. It's real. Melissa and I followed her for 2 weeks. Every pattern matches. Tuesday and Friday withdrawals? Those are her casino days. The cash? It goes straight to slot machines. But, she told me she was paying vendors. Jake, there are no vendors. Or if there are, she's not paying them with our money. Our money is gone. Gambled away. He sat down heavily. My mom is a gambling addict. Yes. And she's been stealing from us for a year. Yes. He was quiet for a long time. Then, we need to confront her. Together. With this evidence. She'll just deny it again. Not if we show her the photos. Not if we tell her we talked to casino staff. Not if we make it clear we know everything. But I had a better idea. What if we record her admitting it? What? Arizona is a one-party consent state. We can legally record conversations if one person knows. Let's wear hidden cameras, go confront her, and get her confession on video. Jake hesitated. That feels like entrapment. It's not entrapment if she actually did it. It's documentation. Because Jake, even with all this evidence, your family still believes her drug addict story about me. We need an actual confession. He thought about it. Okay. Let's do it. We ordered small button cameras on Amazon, the kind that look like normal shirt buttons but record video and audio. They arrived in 2 days. That Saturday, we drove to Patricia's house. Both of us wore the cameras under our jackets. We rang the doorbell. Patricia answered, surprise flashing across her face. Jake. I wasn't expecting you. And her. The warmth drained from her voice when she saw me. We need to talk, Mom. It's important. She let us in reluctantly. We sat in the living room again, same positions as before. But this time, I felt powerful. We had the truth. Mom, Jake started, his voice shaking slightly. We know about the gambling. Patricia's face went blank. I don't know what you mean. Desert Diamond Casino. You go every Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes Mondays and Thursdays. We followed you. Color drained from her face. You spied on me? You stole from us, I said coldly. So yes, we investigated. I didn't steal anything. I've been paying for your wedding. Stop lying. Jake's voice rose. We have photos of you entering casinos. We have bank records showing you withdraw cash right before casino visits. We talked to employees who know you by name. Mom, please. Just tell the truth. Patricia stood up, pacing. You don't understand. It's not what you think. Then explain it to us, I said calmly. Make us understand. She was silent for a long moment. Then, quietly, I can stop any time. My heart raced. That was an admission. So you admit you've been gambling? Jake pressed. I've gone to the casino a few times. For entertainment. It's not a big deal. A few times? I pulled out our documentation. You've gone 47 times in the last year. You've withdrawn $47,000 from our wedding account. That's not entertainment, Patricia. That's addiction. Don't you dare call me an addict, she snapped. I have it under control. You stole our wedding money. Jake stood up. That's not having it under control. I was going to pay it back. I just needed a few big wins. I've been so close so many times. Just a little more luck and I'd have doubled the money, tripled it even. You'd have had the wedding of your dreams. We don't want a gambling windfall, I said. We wanted the money we saved. The money we worked for. You didn't have the right to risk it. Patricia's face crumpled. Real tears came this time, not manipulative ones. I know I messed up. But I was trying to help. If I could just win big, you'd have everything you wanted plus more. Mom, Jake's voice was gentle but firm. Do you understand that you have a gambling problem? Maybe. Yes. I think so. And do you understand that you took our money without permission and gambled it away? Patricia nodded, crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jake. I never meant for it to get this bad. It started small, just $50 here and there. But then I started winning sometimes, and it felt so good. And then I was losing and I kept thinking the next spin would be the one. I just needed to win back what I lost. And it spiraled. What about accusing me of being a drug addict? I asked. Was that spiraling too? Patricia looked at me, shame in her eyes. I panicked. When you found the bank statements, I panicked. I couldn't let Jake know the truth. So I deflected. I'm sorry. That was horrible of me. You told the entire family I was on drugs. You tried to destroy my reputation. I know. I'm so sorry. I'll tell them the truth. I'll fix it. How? Jake asked. How are you going to fix this? The money is gone. Our wedding is in 4 months. We have no fund. Patricia wiped her eyes. I'll get a loan. Against my house. I'll pay you back every penny. That's not the point. Jake's voice broke. You're my mother. You were supposed to help us. Instead you stole from us and then tried to make everyone think my fiancé was a drug addict. How am I supposed to trust you again? I'll get help. I'll go to Gamblers Anonymous. I'll do therapy. Whatever you need. What I need is for you to never have done this in the first place, Jake said quietly. We sat in heavy silence. Finally, I spoke. You're going to tell the entire family the truth. Every person you told about my supposed drug problem, you're going to call them and admit you lied. You're going to explain about your gambling addiction. You're going to take responsibility. Yes. I will. And you're going to get help. Real help. Gamblers Anonymous isn't enough. You need intensive therapy. Yes. And, Jake added, you're going to take out that loan and pay us back every dollar. Not for the wedding, we'll figure that out ourselves. But because that money wasn't yours to take. Patricia nodded, still crying. I'll do all of it. I promise. Jake, please. I know I don't deserve it, but please don't cut me out of your life. Jake looked at her for a long time. I don't know if I can forgive this, Mom. Not right now. Maybe not for a long time. But I'm not cutting you out. You're still my mother. You can't be trusted right now. And that's going to take years to rebuild. We left Patricia's house with the recorded confession on our button cameras. In the car, Jake was silent for a long time, staring out the window. You okay? I asked gently. My mom is a gambling addict who stole from us and tried to ruin your reputation. His voice was hollow. No, I'm not okay. I reached over and squeezed his hand. I'm sorry. You have nothing to be sorry for. You were right all along. And I doubted you. I'm the one who should apologize. You were in an impossible position. She's your mom. That doesn't excuse it. When she accused you of being a drug addict, I should have shut that down immediately. Instead, I entertained the possibility. I let her plant doubt in my mind. I'm so sorry. I pulled the car over and turned to face him. Jake, she's a master manipulator. She's had 30 years to perfect her techniques on you. This isn't your fault. I should have trusted you. You do trust me. That's why you're here now. That's why we confronted her together. He leaned his head back against the seat. What do we do now? Now. Patricia starts making calls to your family. And if she doesn't, we release the video. Over the next week, Patricia did make calls. One by one, Jake's family members reached out to me, some apologetic, some shocked, some defensive. Jake's Aunt Linda, I'm so sorry, honey. Patricia told me she made a terrible mistake. I should never have believed her without talking to you first. His cousin Derek, dude, I can't believe my aunt is a gambling addict. And that she lied about your girl. That's messed up. His grandmother, Patricia, called me in tears. She admitted everything. I'm heartbroken. But I owe you an apology. I said some harsh things. But not everyone was apologetic. Jake's uncle Ron, look, Patricia has issues, but you didn't have to publicly humiliate her like this. Airing family business to everyone? That's classless. His cousin Sarah, honestly, you setting up that whole sting operation seems vindictive. She's sick. She needs help, not judgment. I was furious at these responses, but Jake was philosophical. Some people will always defend her. That's their choice. We know the truth. The harder part was the money. Patricia applied for a home equity loan, but the process would take weeks. Our wedding was in 3 months, and we had $8,000 left in the account, nowhere near enough for the wedding we'd planned. I thought about it. Part of me wanted to postpone, to punish Patricia by making her see the consequences of her actions. But another part of me refused to let her addiction control our timeline. No, I said. We're getting married in June as planned. We'll just have a different wedding than we imagined. What do you mean? We'll do something small. Intimate. My parents offered to help, they have $10,000 they can contribute. With the $8,000 we have left, that's $18,000. We can make it work. Jake looked relieved. You sure? You always talked about the big wedding. I wanted a big wedding when I thought we could afford it without stress. Now, I just want to marry you. The size doesn't matter. We replanned everything. Instead of a 200-person venue, we booked a small winery for 50 guests. Instead of a 5-course meal, we did a cocktail reception with appetizers. Instead of a famous photographer, we hired a talented newcomer. Instead of a live band, we created Spotify playlists. It was beautiful. Different than we'd imagined, but beautiful. Patricia wasn't invited to help with any planning. She also wasn't invited to the wedding. That was the hardest decision. Jake agonized over it for weeks. She's my mom. How can I get married without my mom there? She stole from us, Jake. She tried to destroy my reputation. Actions have consequences. I know. But she's getting help. She's been going to GA meetings 3 times a week. She's in therapy. She's trying. That's great. I genuinely hope she gets better. But that doesn't mean she gets to be at our wedding. Not yet. Trust has to be rebuilt, and that takes time. Jake eventually agreed. When he told Patricia, she cried but accepted it. I understand. I did this to myself. I just hope someday you can forgive me. The home equity loan came through 2 weeks before the wedding. Patricia transferred $47,000 back into our account. We didn't touch it, we'd already paid for our small wedding with our own replanning. The money sat there, a reminder of everything that had happened. Our wedding day was perfect. May sunshine, rolling vineyards, our closest friends and family. My sister Melissa was my maid of honor. Jake's best friend stood up for him. During the reception, Jake's Aunt Linda approached me. This is beautiful. Truly. And I'm glad Patricia isn't here. I was surprised by her bluntness. She continued, I love my sister-in-law, but she needed to face real consequences. She's been enabled her whole life. Missing her only son's wedding, maybe this will finally make her change. I hope so, I said. For Jake's sake. He's lucky to have you. You could have walked away from this whole mess. A lot of people would have. I love him. And this wasn't his fault. No, but you still stood by him through it. That says a lot about your character. 3 months after the wedding, Patricia reached out. She'd been sober from gambling for 5 months, attending meetings regularly, working with a therapist. She asked if we could meet for coffee. I was hesitant, but Jake wanted to try. We met at a neutral location, a cafe halfway between our places. Patricia looked different. Older, somehow. Less polished. More real. Thank you for meeting me, she said. I know I don't deserve your time. You're right, I said bluntly. You don't. But we're here because Jake loves you. She nodded. I've been doing a lot of work in therapy. Understanding why I gambled, what I was trying to escape from. And I've realized. I was jealous of you. Jealous? Jake's father died when Jake was 15. For 15 years after that, it was just us. He was my whole world. And then you came along, and suddenly I wasn't the most important woman in his life anymore. I resented that. So you stole from us? The gambling started before you. That was its own issue, depression, boredom, the thrill. But when Jake asked me to manage the wedding fund, part of me saw an opportunity. If I could make you two fight, if I could make Jake doubt you, maybe he'd need me again. I sat back, processing this. That's incredibly toxic. I know. I know it is. I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to explain my thought process, which was diseased and wrong. Jake leaned forward. Mom, I appreciate you being honest. But you understand that you didn't just hurt our bank account, right? You tried to destroy her reputation. You told everyone she was a drug addict. Do you understand how damaging that could have been to her career, her relationships, her mental health? Patricia's eyes filled with tears. I do. And I've apologized to everyone I lied to. But I know that doesn't undo the damage. I humiliated you both. I weaponized my relationship with the family against you. She turned to me. I don't expect you to forgive me. I probably wouldn't forgive me if I were you. But I want you to know that I'm working every day to become someone worthy of forgiveness. Even if that day never comes. I studied her face. She looked sincere. But I'd been burned before. Here's the thing, Patricia, I said carefully. I don't trust you. I might never fully trust you. But for Jake's sake, I'm willing to try having a relationship with you. With boundaries. What kind of boundaries? You don't have access to our finances ever again? Not accounts, not credit cards, nothing. You don't get to be alone with our future children unsupervised until years of proven trustworthiness. You continue therapy and GA meetings. And the second you lie to us about anything at all, we're done. Patricia nodded quickly. Yes. All of that. Whatever you need. And, I added, you're going to make a public apology. Not just private calls to family. I want you to post on Facebook, explaining your gambling addiction and admitting you lied about me. I want a public correction to the public humiliation you put me through. She paled. That's very public. Yes. It is. That's the point. You publicly destroyed my reputation. You need to publicly restore it. Jake squeezed my hand under the table. He hadn't known I was going to ask for this, but he didn't object. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. Then, okay. I'll do it. You're right. It's only fair. 2 days later, she posted on Facebook. I watched as the post went live. I need to make a public apology and admission. Many of you have heard me say concerning things about my daughter-in-law over the past year. I accused her of having substance abuse issues and financial irresponsibility. None of that was true. The truth is, I have a gambling addiction. I stole nearly $50,000 from my son's wedding fund and gambled it away. When I was confronted, I panicked and lied, accusing an innocent woman of terrible things to deflect from my own problems. I have hurt my son and his wife deeply. I have betrayed their trust. I am currently in treatment and working to make amends, but I needed to publicly correct the record. She is not an addict. I am. She is not a thief. I am. She is a good person who deserved none of what I put her through. I'm deeply ashamed and I'm working every day to become better. If you're struggling with gambling addiction, please get help. Don't let it destroy your relationships like I almost did mine. The post exploded. Hundreds of comments, some supportive, some shocked, some critical. Jake's family was divided. Some praised Patricia's honesty. Others were angry she'd lied in the first place. A few accused me of forcing her to humiliate herself. But I didn't care about their opinions anymore. The truth was out there. Anyone who Googled my name would see Patricia's admission, not her accusations. My reputation was restored. Over the next year, Patricia slowly rebuilt trust. She attended every GA meeting. She saw her therapist twice a week. She got a part-time job at a bookstore, something to fill her time and give her purpose beyond gambling. She asked for small moments with us. Coffee once a month. A phone call every week. She never pushed for more. She accepted the boundaries we set. When I got pregnant a year and a half after the wedding, Patricia cried when we told her. I'm going to be a grandmother. I was so afraid I destroyed my chance at that. You almost did, Jake said honestly. But you put in the work. We see that. Our daughter Emma was born in March 2024. Patricia met her at the hospital, holding her with shaking hands and tears streaming down her face. She's perfect. Thank you for letting me meet her. You're her grandmother, I said. We want you in her life. But remember the boundaries. Always. Patricia has been sober from gambling for over 2 years now. She's earned supervised visits with Emma. We're careful, we watch for signs of relapse, we maintain our boundaries, we don't give her access to anything financial. But she's proven herself, slowly, over time. Last month, Jake and I talked about whether she could attend Emma's first birthday party. It was a big step, the first major family event she'd be invited to since our wedding. Do you think she's ready? Jake asked. I thought about it. I think she's earned it. But we need to be clear, one slip, one lie, and we go back to square one. Agreed. We invited her. When she arrived at the party, she brought a small gift, a children's book about honesty. I thought it was appropriate, she said with a small smile. During the party, I watched her. She was engaged but not overbearing. She held Emma but gave her back when Emma fussed. She made polite conversation with my family, even though some of them still looked at her coldly. She left at the designated time without trying to linger. As she was leaving, she hugged me. Thank you for giving me this chance. I know I don't deserve it. You're working for it, I corrected. There's a difference. After she left, Melissa came up to me. You're more forgiving than I'd be. It's not really about forgiveness, I said. It's about Emma. She deserves to know her grandmother, if that grandmother can be healthy and safe. And so far, Patricia is proving she can be. You're a better person than me. I shook my head. I'm just trying to do what's right. For Jake. For Emma. And honestly, for Patricia too. Addiction is a disease. She's fighting it. I can respect that, even if I can't forget what she did. Present day. It's been 3 years since Patricia stole our wedding fund. We're still married, still happy, still navigating our relationship with her carefully. Patricia has been gambling free for over 3 years. She sponsors other people in GA now, helping them through their own struggles. She's rebuilt many of the relationships she damaged, though some family members still keep their distance. She sees Emma regularly now, weekly visits, supervised at first, but gradually more relaxed as she's proven trustworthy. She's never alone with Emma for long periods, and she never will be until Emma is old enough to advocate for herself. But she's present. She's trying. The $47,000 she paid back is still sitting in our account. We've decided to put it in a trust for Emma's college education. It feels right, turning Patricia's worst moment into something positive for the next generation. Jake and I are stronger because of what we went through. We learned to communicate better, to trust each other even when families complicate things, to set boundaries with people we love. Sometimes people ask if I regret how I handled it, the investigation, the recording, the public exposure. I don't. Patricia's gambling addiction was destroying not just our finances, but our relationship and my reputation. Without hard evidence, Jake's family would never have believed me. Without consequences, Patricia would never have gotten help. Was it harsh? Yes. Was it necessary? Absolutely. I've learned that sometimes you have to fight for the truth, even when it's ugly. Sometimes you have to set boundaries with family, even when it hurts. Sometimes you have to hold people accountable, even when they're sick. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, people actually do the work and change. Patricia will never be my favorite person. I'll never fully trust her the way Jake once did. But I can respect her fight against her addiction. I can appreciate her efforts to make amends. I can allow her to be part of our lives, carefully and with boundaries. That's not forgiveness, exactly. It's something more complicated. It's acknowledgement that people are messy and complicated. That addiction is real and devastating. That change is possible, but never guaranteed. That family relationships require constant work and renegotiation. Our wedding didn't look like we planned. Our relationship with Patricia doesn't look like a traditional mother-in-law relationship. But we've built something real from the wreckage of that betrayal. And honestly, I think we're all better for it. Patricia learned she couldn't manipulate her way out of consequences. Jake learned to prioritize his marriage over his mother's comfort. I learned to stand up for myself even when it meant fighting an entire family. And Emma? She'll grow up knowing her grandmother, the real one, flaws and recovery and all. She'll see that people can mess up badly and still work to make things right. She'll learn that accountability matters. That boundaries are healthy. That love doesn't mean accepting abuse. Those are valuable lessons. Ones I hope she never has to learn the hard way, like we did. Last week, Patricia sent me a text, "Thank you for not giving up on me. I know I gave you every reason to. I'm grateful every day that you gave me another chance." I read it to Jake. What should I say back? He thought about it. The truth. So I typed, "We didn't give you another chance. You earned it. Keep earning it." She replied, "I will. Every day. I promise." And so far, she has.